And hello, Scott.
How are you?
Hello, Scott. It's me, Steph.
Hello, Steph. It's me, Scott.
All
How
right.
are
Oh, I'm good. I apologize for being late today. I was out trying to find the dyes I wanted to use, and well, I just stood there and couldn't figure out what to do.
you?
All
I
right.
guess.
So let's see. I'm gonna get myself set up here so I can follow along and see what you're doing.
Yep, I'm doing the same.
Okay. I'm also gonna give me a thumbs up.
There you go. I'll do the same.
And I'm gonna set
Two
my
thumbs up there.
and I'm gonna immediately go to my chats and set it to all messages so I can try to follow along in the chat room best I can. Okay. So Barbie, let's see, what is that? I should probably wear my glasses when I do this. Barbie J672000. Hello. Christy's in the house. Linda's with us. Grace is showing up. Good afternoon. Yay. Sorry we're a little bit late today. That's my fault. I'm running behind. I overslept, and so it is what it is.
When I hit live chat, it says live chat has moved.
Has moved? Huh. Well, up at the very top of mine, it has mine says live chat, all messages, and then there's like a 3-line thing, and I click on that and it just says to choose between top or all messages, and I always like to go with all messages. So I'm just going to adjust here because
I can't get to my chats for some reason.
Huh.
All it says is that it's moved. It doesn't tell me where at.
Okay, well, are you logged in as yourself? Maybe log in as Kelly or something? I don't know. Because I have 2 accounts. I've got my Belladonna, and then I have my
Well,
personal.
I mean, it should still let me chat no matter who I'm with, who I am.
Huh.
I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, I know,
I don't
but
need it, I guess.
well, so I don't know. My phone that I'm using to record and my iPad, I'm using 2 separate accounts, is what I'm saying. I'm wondering if.
Oh, okay. I found it.
Oh, you found them. Very
Yeah.
good. Yay! He found the chat.
Yeah.
Marshall's here. Mary's here. Hello, guys. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I think I've got mine centered on the screen pretty good. And then there's always that delay. So keep in mind, you guys, that Scott and I have I don't know,
About a
20,
third.
20 or 30-second delay in between how he and I can see each other. And so we're going to be working together and, going back and forth between holding off and working and, stuff like that. But I think I've got my table centered, or my whatever. The camera's looking pretty good. Okay. All right. So we're going to work on tapestries today. How many of you are able to take advantage of that discount code Sunshine Joy gave back in May? I'm curious to know if anybody was able to use it. I know I did. I took advantage and bought a whole bunch of tapestries. Maybe next summer I'll ask them if they'll do it again. Okay. So I don't see anything happening on. That's right. We got a 30-second delay. Do you got your tapestry out yet, Scott?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was on my table.
Huh.
It was already on there. You can just kind of see through it a little bit.
Did you change your table?
Oh no, I have that tapestry over top of it.
Oh,
You'll see here.
that is okay. That's your tapestry. I got it now. Okay. All right. Okay. Couldn't tell. I just looked different all of a sudden and looked like nothing was happening. So I'm like, whoa. All right. So the first thing, these are the 58 by 58 tapestries from Sunshine Joy, which you can buy on Amazon, but I I do recommend that you probably head over to Sunshine Joy. I think their prices are better. Yeah, shipping's going to be slower. You order on Amazon, you can get it tomorrow. But, whatever. You do what you want to do. So the first thing you want to do, it's a square. You just want to fold the tapestry directly in half. And my table is not very big, so I'm going to pull mine off the table and I'm going to like kind of shake it like you would bed sheets, to hang on the clothesline. And try to line everything up best I can. Okay, so how I prepared mine, and then I'll let Scott tell how he prepared his. I put mine in the soda ash bucket for at least a minimum of 20 minutes. Mine has probably sat in the soda ash bucket for a month. Okay, I'm just being real. I get busy, feel in the mood to make a tapestry, and then change my mind, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, letting it just sit in there and soak. Then I use my Panda spin dryer to spin it out, and so it's barely damp. Now, I timed my spinner, my Panda, Scott, and it was just like 5 seconds over 5 minutes.
Yeah, mine too. Exactly. 5 seconds over 5 minutes is right
For
when my alarm went off.
for two tapestries. Now I'm gonna do it again when I put like 10 shirts in there and see if it changes. Because I'm just curious. I'm curious if it goes by weight or what.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna actually fold mine the other way. The outer seams on mine want to like roll backwards, so I'm gonna try to fold them so they want to roll in on each other instead of out. See if that makes it easier for me. Because I'm really having a hard time getting it to want to like lay flat together. Okay, so how did you prepare your tapestries?
I was about the exact same thing. I let mine go sit in soda ash for about an hour. And then I spun it out in my Panda spin dryer that I just got.
Woohoo! You got his Panda. Woo-hoo.
And I love that thing. I'm telling you. I need to get a Panda spin dryer if you're serious about tie dyeing.
Yeah, I knew you would love it.
I feel like with my when I do pleats, I feel like my shirt's a little thicker than what it was when I was. I know it doesn't sound right, but it's the truth. Now it's a little more wrinkled than what I'm used to, but I don't think that's really going to mess with my stuff too much. But I mean, my shirts, my t-shirts, the wrinkles came out on this tapestry. They're not going to come out as much.
No.
But I don't think it's going to mess with it. I really don't.
Brandon, it is a Sunshine Joy 100% cotton tapestry. And I should also say, you guys, it's really important to pre-wash before you put it in the soda ash bucket. So I'll just give you my pre-wash rundown. I pre-wash like a whole entire washing machine load full. I choose to put my things in the dryer because I want to fold them up or go flop them in a pile, and I don't want them to be wet. So I pre-wash and then I put my things in the dryer. That way they don't get all moldy and nasty, and then I can pull them out of a bin or in a stack or whatever. So I pre-wash, then I dry, then I pull them out, and then I soak. Okay. Lynette says, "Congrats on the Panda."
Thanks, Lynette.
Why? Like,
it's nice to see you here.
They're square, but for the life of me, I can't get it to line up. Come on. Okay. Imagine trying to work with one bigger than this. Forget about it. Okay. So once you get it folded in half and it's like a rectangle and line things up the very best that you can, keeping in mind that this is the foundation of our tie-dye, so if we can get this all lined up pretty good, then the rest of it should go really well. Okay. And try to smooth out wrinkles as you go. The more you rub it, I mean, they're not really going to come out, but They try. I mean, I try to get them out, but okay. So now I've got a rectangle. Gosh, the seams where they sew it. They want to. They mine want to on this one, anyways. They kind of want to like buckle and roll.
Hmm.
It's driving me nuts. Okay. Now, once you have that rectangle, you just turn it into a square. Fold that in half again.
Okay.
Real easy, just like that. Scott looks like he. Are you already? Oh no. Okay.
I'm on my square. Trying.
Okay.
I'm on
Try.
my square, trying to get it square.
Okay. Me too. I'm now. Now I'm on my square, trying to get it square. And I would say most tapestries are going to start out in this fashion, or to some degree of this. Uh, for what we're making. Now, not all tapestries will start out this way, but a lot of what you see, like if you're online and you're looking at people's work, they start out by making a square. And try not to have like, okay, you can have wrinkles in your fabric, but when you're folding, you want to make sure that you don't have like a lot of buckled fabric. Like right here, I can feel that when I made my square, it didn't quite go smoothly. There's like a big wrinkle down in there, so try to work those wrinkles out. I hope that makes sense. I need to go get a tissue. When I'm working with my head down like this, it's making my nose run.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna step away from the table for a second and blow my nose, you guys. I'll be right back.
All right. So, yes, so hashtag right off the iron. Um, right off the iron. Okay. So I thought about ironing mine, but I didn't, of course, as you can see. Um, our tapestries are 58 by 58, Lynette. Can't iron because of the soda ash soak. You can. It's just when I did, I just put it on a low setting. I didn't like burn it or scorch it in any way. But that was on a T-shirt. Now I don't know about these. So I've just about got mine squared up. Pretty good.
Okay. I closed the doors. I hope that makes it a little bit less TV in the background sound.
I'm using my rifle rod to kind of get any of these little wrinkles out down here in my seams.
Yeah, that tool. I get asked all the time in the comment section, what is the thing that Scott is using?
They work great. But like you said, you can use a blind, like the blind spinner thing on the window blinds. Those would work good.
Yeah, like the old school blinds, from like the what? I mean, we still have them in our house, but like they had that little plastic wand you could spin to open or close them.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just my roller too. So if you have a thin meter stick or yardstick, it's it. So
Okay. So let's see. I'm just gonna. Do we have any new folks in here? Let's see. No, it looks like our same group. Okay. All right, so I have mine as squares. I feel like I'm going to be able to. I mean, it's square and
yeah,
wrinkle free as much as I feel like I'm going to be. Now, the thing when making a tapestry is you need to find your center point. You want to work off your center. So if you look at your tapestry, let me see if I can put it in the camera view. You've got your edges. You got your like all of my loops are up here together and I have the sewn edge coming down both sides. And then if I do it this way, I've got all my open edges Now we're left-handed. I don't know if it matters, but just you want to pay attention to where your center is. And if you're new to tie dyeing, this could be one of those things that could be very confusing. So along one side, I've got a fold, and then we got the open edges. This is my center point right here. And I'll make a little mark on it just for visuals. This is the center point of the tapestry that we'll be working off of. We're going to be folding all of our points to the center point. Let's see. So I want to be able to try to fold this to where you can see. The tapestry is bigger than my camera angle. So let's see here. Well, I have to do it. I have to do it the way I have to do it because
Well, your point looks good, so they
well,
should.
no, but I mean, I want to try to get it on camera, but I also need it to be like to where I can make my airplane folds is what I'm trying to say here. Wait a minute. Let me see here. Hold on. Okay. Okay. So you've got your center point, and then you're going to have just two pleats on one side. Okay. And then, so maybe if I turn it this way, yeah, I'll try it like this. I think you guys can see it. I can't see myself for like 20 seconds. Okay, yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to airplane fold. Oh, so I know my head's in the way now. So I'm just going to grab one layer and I'm going to airplane fold back just like an airplane fold, like you're folding a paper airplane. Okay. And then, smooth out as I go and feel in there and make sure that that airplane fold doesn't have like wrinkled up fabric, that it's a nice crisp line as I go. And I folded it, straight to this line. Okay. Just like that. Nice and straight. Yeah. You can also use the yardstick, which is a great tool to put up in there to make a nice crisp line. Okay. And then I'm just going to do that again. So I'm going to pick that up again, that same airplane fold, and fold back to the edge. Just like that. Kind of hanging on to that point a little bit so it doesn't get all kind of wonky. Okay. All right. Now we've got our first airplane folds done. Wow, this is so much easier to do it this way than trying to make a video and then edit it, because trying to do voiceover and explain what I'm doing when I'm looking at myself going like, what are you doing? This is so much easier. Okay, now I'm checking in on Scott. I just want to make sure that.
Okay, so I have my first one. Are we doing it? Do I go ahead and crease that one again? Oh, okay. You're on the same one as me. You just did it once, right?
Well, I did it once, and then I did it. So I did the first, and then I did the second.
Okay.
Okay, and then now what I see is like this big square flap of fabric in front of me. So what we have to do now is pick the tapestry up. So you want to hold on just one second.
You've done it. You've just folded it once, right? Right.
I folded. Well, I did two airplane folds total. So I did the first airplane fold back, and then I did the second airplane fold on that same side.
Okay. I need to do that.
Yours, you look. I think yours looks like mine. Let's see if I turn it. The thing is you stand in a different direction than I do on the table.
Yeah.
And I might have folded it like a right-handed person instead of a left-handed person. Okay. Did you do two folds is all I'm asking.
I'm doing that my second fold right now.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We're on that darn delay. Okay. So, all right. Now, moving on, because I think people can see us in real time.
I got
So
you.
so you have that their airplane fold triangle, and if you've done it correctly, it should look like you've got 3 pleats. Let me show you. Like 1, 2, 3. Okay. This one I just did went a little overshot. I want to back it up just a little bit before I flip it. You want your edge to line up real like straight. And yeah, I overshot it on the second fold back, which is now making everything have like a weird lip. So I'm going to do it one more time. Oh, darn it. Here we go. This is where it gets fun and all the little like whoopsies start happening. Okay, so I've got my first one and I overshot it. I want to make sure that I'm getting it right up to that line and not going over it. Okay. And checking in there and feeling to make sure that there isn't a lot of like wrinkled up fabric that's just, you know, uh bunching up in there.
I don't know. I am doing it different than you. I see this delay is messing me up.
Well, and also I no okay, hold then okay, open yours back up and let me just actually watch you. Because it shouldn't
I drew a line down the center of my.
yeah, why did you do that?
I don't know because I thought that's what we were doing.
Did you ever once hear me say draw a line down the
Yeah,
center?
no, but I mean,
I never did any of you hear me say that?
no, but I thought it would be easier to kind of keep everything straight if I cut it.
Okay. All right, now I'm stopping and I'm watching you. Okay, you know where your center point is, okay? So take one take the top corner and fold it all the way to that bottom straight edge.
What? See, I'm confused. I
Okay.
I have a square right now.
So do I, essentially,
No,
okay?
no, no, well, I mean, this delay, it looks like you have. It looks completely different.
Okay. Well, I'll start over. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start over. I'm making mine into a square and I'm going to talk you through it and then I will.
Okay, so where's your center point? At the bottom left?
Okay, so as see Scott when he's in fold mode, he doesn't hear me talk. And also I talk so much, he's learned to tune me out completely. So, hold on, let me get it all back up square again.
So, but your center point's on the bottom left?
Well, on mine, yeah.
Okay.
Just because okay, so okay, if that helps you. So okay, my square, I have all 4 loops in my upper right hand corner.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, and so the center point of this whole entire tapestry when it's opened up is in the very center point of that square. Okay, so I can see your loops. So your bottom. Now my tapestry is off. Hold on, guys. Sorry, just give me 1 second here. The bottom left-hand corner is the center of the tapestry.
Gotcha, me too.
Okay. Now, okay. I'm going to talk you through it.
Okay. I
So
wasn't paying attention. I thought I knew what I was doing. I didn't.
that's all right. That's all right. Now, what you're going to do is go up to, gosh darn it. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. When I unfolded it, it got a little bit funky again. That's all right. It'll be fine. Okay, for you, I'm looking at you. So go up to your upper left-hand corner
Okay.
and pick up that corner and fold it straight down all the way to the flat part where that center point is.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Like a paper airplane. Just
Uh,
fold it straight back. And now I'm watching you to make sure you're and only one layer. Not both flaps, just one flap. Wait, no.
wait.
No. Don't you have two pleats on that side, Scott?
What?
Do you not have two pleats? Like two layers, two layers. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Oh,
I like
okay.
this whole thing is wrong.
Well,
I folded it wrong, even into a square.
okay, do you have four loops at the top right corner?
Right, I do.
You have okay. So wait a minute then. How do I have four loops? We should have the same exact square. Okay.
No, not if I
Well, okay.
a
All
different.
right. Okay. No panic. Hold on. You have just folded your square differently than I did, I guess. So okay, turn oh wait.
Okay, so I'm going to turn it to where.
You okay, so when you start to make your airplane folds, one side of your tapestry is going to have like four sewn edges,
Yes,
okay?
they're
And
facing.
then the other side is also going to have four sewn edges. And you should be able, and then one side, you you know where your center point is, make a mark there, like draw a circle, like I drew a circle on mine. We're never going to lose this center point. Okay.
No,
Okay.
I'm lost completely.
Okay,
I told everybody they were going to see me sweat and possibly fail at this.
you're not going to fail, I promise you.
I can't
We're
even
going to
get
be just
started.
fine. So just listen to what I'm telling you, and if you have this, we should be able to get through it.
I know, but your hoops are up at the top left hand corner, but or top.
Where those okay, forget about where those are. Just listen to me.
All right.
Look at your tapestry. You should have on one side four sewn edges.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
On the other side, you should also have
Opposite
four sewn edges. And
the
then down
opposite side, I have two folds.
and then which side?
The complete opposite side, I have two folds.
Okay, you have two folds, and then on one side you have no folds. It's just folded in half, right? Okay. So the side that you have just two folds, pick up one layer of that and airplane fold it back all the way to make a straight edge. Now I'm watching you do it. Does that
Mine's
make
really
sense what I just said? You pick up one layer, not you don't pick up all four or
okay.
all two.
I got you.
Okay, so there you go.
But
Got it.
it's not
Okay.
square.
Huh?
It's not square.
Well, no, it's not. It's not gonna. What do you mean? Because it like overhangs a little bit.
The bottom is overhanging more than the top.
That's fine. That's totally normal.
Okay.
Completely normal.
Okay.
All right. All right. Now we're making some progress.
Okay. Gotcha. I got you. All right.
Okay, so right now you have it where you're folding away from yourself. It's probably easier if you turn it and fold towards yourself, or at least, you know what I mean? Just roll it on your table so that that fold where you just did that is the flat edge is next to your belly. Okay. Does that make sense?
I'm looking at yours. So now is your center at the top right?
No, my center is at the bottom
Okay.
left.
So ours is different. Okay,
Yeah.
that's okay. So I'm going to
It
I'm
doesn't
going to
actually,
this back.
that really doesn't matter. My ambidextrous self probably could have just kicked in, and I might be folding more like a right-handed person right now, and that's okay. Now,
So what do I,
did you spin it around though to where that the flat side of your airplane fold is next to your belly, so the next one you're gonna fold towards yourself?
flat side? They're all
Okay,
flat.
so uh so your center corner is now up at the top right, right?
That's right. Yep.
Okay, twist it. Like twist your center point towards you.
Okay.
Bring it down towards your belly.
Okay. Now I have two flaps.
Okay. Now, that one that we just did, you want to do it the same exact way one more time. Pick up that flap we just airplane folded
And
and bring it right straight back right down.
Okay. I gotcha. We're not sweating anymore, I don't think. Okay.
And then while you're doing that, make sure that you're kind of keeping your point strong, and you're bringing it right to that edge. You want that edge that we're folding to be straight. No overlaps.
It looks
And
pretty
while
good.
you're doing that, you want to feel up under your pleat and the airplane fold, and make sure you don't have a lot of wrinkled fabric.
It feels great, actually.
Okay, very good. Very good. I'm going to fix mine a little bit because I can feel my fabric like bunching under there. Okay. All right. And so let me get mine
Uh-uh.
back there again. So your center point looks like a center point, and then the outer edge looks like, now it's kind of looking all like weird, like a triangle, and we're getting out of the square now. We
You have
don't
your
want we don't want a square,
Do
okay?
you have an iPad you can look at?
Huh?
Do you
Yeah.
have your iPad
Yeah.
that you look at?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
My
looking,
thing,
okay.
I'm lost. I don't know.
You're lost again?
Yeah. Now what?
Okay. Well, you did the two airplane folds, right? Oh, okay. Let me
I'm
see.
lost.
Okay. Go back.
It would help if I was folding it like you,
Okay. Well, all right.
but I'm not.
Okay.
I feel like didn't do this right.
You didn't. You
Do I
it
fold it down?
Okay, hold on. Okay, stop. Let's just stop for 5 seconds and breathe and start over. It'll take us 2 seconds. Let's go back to
I
let's
want
go
to
back. No. Just
Leo.
listen, it's fine. This is what this is about. This is reality, and this is what somebody who's never made a tapestry before is going to go through. So let's undo it and go right back to rectangle, okay? The very first, just fold it directly in half. I want to see which side you folded it to. So I completely unfold yours and just fold it just in half one time.
Okay.
And
You
I
fold
want
it in half one time. My fold's on my right. My everything else is on the left.
So okay, so your fold is on the right.
Yeah. How? Where's yours?
Okay, so mine is on the left, and I've
Okay.
got
Well, I'll flip mine. Don't do. I'll flip mine.
because I have my two sewn edges on the right, and I've got my fold is on the left.
I think this is going to help because
Okay.
we were backwards. We weren't folding it the same way, and because, like I said, I'm following you, and if I can't follow
No,
you
I
doing.
listen. I agree 100%. And also the big difference between you and I is you're able to fully walk around your table. I can only stand in front.
All right,
So
so we're square now. So how do you want to?
okay, so all right. So now I took the bottom of my like I'm way out here in the middle of my living room, and I am bringing that bottom up to the top, and I'm creating a square. And now my center is in the bottom left hand corner of the tapestry.
Weird, because that's exactly what I just did. I thought. Uh-huh.
And then I've got my 4 loops are up at the upper right hand corner.
Okay, mine too.
And then so what I have is I have 4 open edges at the very top of my table. I've got 4 open edges at the very right hand side of me.
Me too.
On the left hand straight edge, I've got 2 folds of fabric, and down next to my belly, I have my fold.
Okay, me too.
Okay,
Exactly.
but the problem in that is now I have to. No, there's no problem. It's just my folded edge is now become really kind of like
Okay.
buckled up. I need to fix my folded edge. Just give me 1 second here.
Sorry, that was pretty funny. I was like, "What is on, man? I can't figure out."
Well, but I mean, this is fine. This is good. This is a good thing. And I know you don't like it like this, but this is good because we backed up and when
Well,
people.
that's like if people could do when we're not live. Be like, what the heck is going on, man? And not just this video, any video. You know what I mean? You have to stop, rewind, stop.
Yeah, exactly. So now
Have that luxury.
if you guys are following along and making your own tapestries, you just want everything to line up the very best you can. And every time you make a fold, you want to make sure that there's that buckling is not happening. And just needed to use my yardstick. And I think actually I have a better fold now than I did the first time. So here we go. So using the yardstick is very helpful. And you just slide it out. And I got a nice crisp edge. Okay, so we have a square. My center point is at the bottom left hand of my table,
Okay.
and my fold is at my tummy. Okay, yours should be
Yep.
exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Why don't you make a little mark on yours?
I did.
Okay, that way for people following along, they can
Yeah.
also, they can keep eye on where your center point is.
Yeah.
Okay, now the next step. So we've established on the outer edge is the sewn edges.
Yeah.
The one just folded in half is at my belly, and we've got two folds of fabric on the left hand side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up one layer of that fabric, and I'm going to fold it all the way back to that flat line at my belly, creating my first airplane fold. Okay. I'm going to watch now. I'm going to stop what I'm doing and I'm going to watch
You
the
just,
playback and make sure that
just
you
went one layer, right? Okay.
just one layer of fabric. So I'm going to watch how you do it and make sure that we're doing it the same way.
Yep. I think so. Now, you have a little bit of overhang on your right hand side. You should, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay,
You,
there you go. There you go. I see it. You did it. There you go. That was the very first one. And feel with your hand as you're rubbing out the wrinkles, make just on that airplane fold, make it nice and crisp. Run your hand over it. Make sure and feel that there's not a bunch of buckled fabric in that fold.
looks good. I used my rifle cleaning rod up under it.
Okay, very good. And you want to when you do it, bring it right to that edge. You don't want to overshoot it. You want everything to line up nice and straight.
Okay.
And yes, there's going to be like a little overhang. Mine's about on this particular tapestry, I don't know, about an inch and a half overhang. Now we're
Yeah.
going to do that same exact thing again with that same exact airplane. We're going to or that this piece of fabric, we're going to hold down our center point. We're going to bring it and airplane fold it again right to that straight edge, just like we did the first time. And now we've made two airplane folds.
Let's see. Where is? I got to see what you're doing.
That's fine. Nope, nope, nope,
No.
nope,
Oh,
nope.
I know. That's hey. I'm lagging. I got it right
Oh,
now.
okay. I just saw you fold backwards.
Yeah.
Bring it all straight back down
I
to your
I
belly.
did. I did.
Okay,
I got it straight now. And
okay.
I have one, two, three flaps towards my
Yeah,
belly.
I'm just now seeing you fold it now. Yep, that's right there, just like that. That's
Okay,
perfect.
gotcha. Now that makes a lot more sense to me.
Yep. We're just folding it all to the belly or the edge of the table. I mean, that doesn't sound very good, but whatever. I'm standing here and my belly is right at about the edge of the table. So
Well,
that's just where it's going to.
I,
Okay. Okay. Now we are going to. So if you've done it correctly, you guys, you should see down at the belly three flaps of fabric.
I do.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Now we're going to pick the whole thing up and we're going to flip it over.
Okay.
Very carefully.
And
try not to completely F it up, right? Which I obviously did because it's not. There we go. Okay. And so now my center point has now shifted to the right side of the table so that so that my straight edge, my belly edge is down at my belly and the center point is moved itself to the right side and all the other open seam edge is at the left.
That's right. Same here.
Okay. And then, fix your pleats, because when you do that, things want to get out of line. The main thing you want to pay attention to is that this straight edge that we're folding to is everything's lining up nice and straight. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Now we're going to do the same exact thing. So now I'm going to reach to the upper right hand corner and I'm going to grab this piece of fabric and I'm going to hold. You guys can't see, I'm off screen. Let me try to get in view here. I'm going to hold down my center point and I'm going to pick that fabric up and I'm going to airplane fold to my belly. Okay. Just like we did on the other side, right to that straight edge. Okay. Smoothing out the wrinkles as we go. Okay. Yep. And making sure that, always making sure that your edges are nice and crisp. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna wait a second so that I can see to make sure that you get that first one folded down to your belly.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think you are. Can you push it up just a little bit?
Yes, I can.
Just
You have to give it just a second.
no, I know. I am. I'm giving it a second. I just your hands where you're working are kind of off screen there.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yep. Okay. All right. I'm seeing it. There you go. All right. So I'm gonna pull mine back. It's falling off the table. That's okay. I'm holding on to it. So you guys can see I've got this center point here. And it's kind of looking crazy right now, but then I have like all this sort of just hodgepodge of fabric the other way. Okay, but you can kind of see my triangle, like I've got my straight edge, and then I'm never losing. Sorry, I bumped the camera. I'm never losing where my center point is. I'm going to mark it again on this side just so we don't lose track. So you guys always see. Okay, now we're going to do the same exact thing one more time.
All right.
And we're going to just grab that piece of fabric, holding down our center point, and fold it back to that straight edge. And making sure that there's no big buckles of fabric up underneath.
Ooh, that looks good.
There you go. And that is how you start the majority of most tapestries.
Pro. Sorry. It does.
Okay.
Looks pro, babe.
Oh, hi. I can hear Kelly.
Yes, I'm hacking my lungs out. It's super fun.
I didn't know you were with us.
Well, I was trying to be quiet and I was eating.
Oh, well, hello. I'm glad you're here.
Hi. This is stressing me out.
What is?
This.
No, I mean, I know.
And wait till you get back and hear me. I'm like, man, oh, not really, but
No, I mean, I've tie-dyed with you enough now that I can tell when you're starting to get short with yourself. You're Not at me, not at anyone else. You're just getting frustrated with yourself, and I get it. Okay. Now I feel like I'm just gonna leave it right there. I'm afraid that if I go any further with this, I'm gonna complicate the shit out of it.
What if,
listen,
can we clip this to kind of keep our stuff square?
of course you can. Of course. Now I
It's
wanted
not
to
the two folds, but the whatever.
yeah, okay. Right. So I'm going to show you guys right now. If you've done it correctly, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 folds on one side, and the other side is just going to have 2. Okay. And it's going to look kind of like, I don't know, like an ice cream cone, maybe, right? Imagine a nice scoop of orange sherbet in there. Mm-mm-mm. Okay.
What are those triangles called? I forget.
What?
I used to know what these triangles were called. It's a math thing, but I forget.
Well, you definitely don't ask me. I have no idea. I'm gonna look in the comments here for just a second and just see. Brandon says bingo. Fuzzy face. Leah. She says yes. And Brandon says clips. Vanda's here. Well, no worries that you're late. I'm just glad you made it. Wanda's in the house. Sue.
You can go back and hear me sweat a little bit. I warned you. I was going to sweat and maybe fail. I don't know about the failing part, but I at least sweat for a little bit.
All right, so you're clipping yours, then okay. I wasn't planning on clipping mine, but I don't know if I'm gonna clip mine. Okay, so what Scott would like to do is the radio wave. Okay. So now that you have this pattern, and I may regret that I'm not clipping mine, you're I'm going to use my washable marker, and I'm going to use my yardstick, which you don't have to. I mean, you can just draw a line, but I'm just going to try to I guess you could get real technical and mathematically measure it out. And so this is about, let me see. Oh, Kelly, you poor thing. You're not feeling any better, huh?
Nah, she feels pretty crappy.
Well, I mean, it doesn't help. I've been on like this 9-day work run.
No, it doesn't help at all.
I got one more day, and then I have 2 days off. I can rest.
Oh, and that's exactly what you need. You need to just crawl into bed, drink some vitamin C, and Netflix and chill.
I sound worse. I mean, I sound worse than I feel. I don't feel that terrible, but I sound pretty cruddy.
Well, I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad you don't. That doesn't look in the center. I'm glad you don't feel as bad as your cough. You know what I mean? So okay.
Man, I almost want to snoo this son of a gun, but that's another day. Now that I understand this fold right here,
Well, yeah. I mean, you can take it and
it's
do.
not. The whole thing isn't as big as I thought it was going to be. You know.
That doesn't look very center. It's like my eyeballs are better than math. I think center looks more like right.
It's definitely not really that centered.
Oh, I'm talking about my line that I drew on. Okay. Well, so here. Okay. So now the next step is for this particular pattern. So Scott has his multiple folds on his left, and mine are on my right. No. Yes, never mind. Excuse me. No, ours are exactly the same. My multiple folds are on the left. Okay. So you just get your rubber bands ready, or whatever you're gonna like everyone. This is a point where get yourself prepared, because this is a very thick and large sort of fold, and you're going to need to be prepared. Now, what I'm going to be using or attempt to use are my stretched out favorite rubber bands. They've had heat applied to them and they never go back to the original shape. And you guys, you got to get these rubber bands. The link is down below in the description box for my favorite rubber bands. You must get these. If you're making a lot of tie-dye, they're the best thing for spirals. Okay, so get your stuff ready. Get at least a couple because you don't want to have it like, undo on you. If you want to tie it off with kite string, sinew, whatever, it's all a matter of preference. Okay, now all we're going to do is just start pleating like the accordion pleat. And I just grabbed up my first piece and I'd say let's see, it's about an inch. Okay. And some of you have probably already seen me do this in a t-shirt. You guys have definitely seen me do it when I make my kaleidoscope folds. And as you're pleating along that line, you just want to make sure that your pleats are, all the same height, flat wise. Okay. So if you saw me, I sort of did the first ones where I lay it down on itself, just to get it going. And now you can just, because it's thick, you guys, it's tapestry material is different than t-shirt material, and it's several layers thick, right? So it's just take your time and make sure each pleat is nice and pleated and the same height as the one in front of it. Now, I was thinking back to how many times I've done this and changed dye placement. Some of you have maybe recently seen me do a star on a shirt. It's the same exact fold, and I just did different dye placement, and that's how I achieved a star. But it's the same fold, just different dye placement. I'm going to stop here for a second and look in on Scott. Scott, how tall are your pleats?
My pleats are, can you give me that little ruler, honey? Exactly 1 inch.
Okay. Yep. So we're on the same track. And for ladies who have smaller hands, this can be kind of a challenge because I'm trying to keep it, all in my hand at once and pleat, and it can be kind of challenging, but just take your time with it. Lots of thick fabric, but it can be done. This is really a really easy pattern with extremely dynamic results. Ooh. And just do what you can, like really put your back into it, Gladys. And all the while trying to keep that line that we drew on straight. Okay, so that's the two things you're contending with, keeping it the same height and keeping that line nice and straight. And then once you get down to the end, it's like this weird sort of triangle of fabric. Doesn't matter. Just keep going straight. How you doing, Scott?
Doing good.
Okay, you're quiet. You're in heavy concentration.
I'm in concentration mode here.
I can hear you concentrating. Has anybody else that's been in the room already made one of these radio waves before? I've done it on a t-shirt, and if any of you guys have made that tutorial, then Yes, you have made a radio wave before, maybe just not on a tapestry. Okay, all right. Now, I'm pretty happy with that. So, I'm gonna pinch it. Oh, and hope it sticks. Actually, I might not need my stretched out rubber bands. Let me see. So when you use a rubber band, open it up and just sort of slide it along the table and then let it go. You don't want it to buckle. If the rubber band's too tight, the whole thing's going to want to go boing, and you want to avoid that. So yeah, my stretched out rubber bands are doing pretty good for my first banding. I need to blow my nose again. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm going to step away real quick and grab a tissue.
Okay, so mine, I'm going to have, by the looks of it, let me get it going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, actually 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 16 before I get to that weird little triangle. And I'm probably going to have to use white string or sinew just to keep it, because I don't have any rubber bands that long that I know of. Might have these blue ones. Honey, help me out. No, just put the rubber band on. Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. All right. Well, it was okay. All right. Hey, that's looking good. Okay. Now I'm just going to keep banding it up. So when I'm hovered over my table like this, my sinuses, whatnot, my nose, is just like running. So I apologize. You're listening to me go. Okay. Where are my second favorite rubber bands? Here they are. So I'm going to move down to my second favorite rubber bands on the edge because the edge is smaller. It doesn't have quite as many pleats. So the goal is, to keep your tapestry intact, nice and, secure. It doesn't have to be buckled down super tight or anything. It just needs to be held together so it's not going to come undone on you. You don't want it like so loose because you want the pleats to have definition, but you don't want it so dang tight that it wants to spring up on you. And again, if you prefer to use kite string, go for it. If you want to wrap it in sinew, go for it. There's no reason to use sinew on this pattern because it's so thick. You're really not going to achieve any white lines from the sinew, but if that's your jam, go for it.
It's Scott's jam. He's going to figure out how to put sinew on there. I was somewhere.
Thinking, I don't know, man. I think that you probably could add some. Maybe not.
Well, you would have sinew lines on the top and the bottom, like the outer edge. It'd be like a little tick mark of sinew, but you would not see the typical Scott Walker sinew lines by using sinew. It would just be not necessary.
Yeah.
And if you don't have my favorite rubber bands, whatever bands you use, just use whatever you got. Now that very center point, the very beginning of it during my folding process got a little wonky, and I'm just going to readjust. And to keep it on point, I'm just going to run my rubber band right over the top of it.
Cut my line pretty straight. That green line is not my line. If you guys zoom in.
So Lynette pointed out that Steph has 12 pleats versus Scott's 16.
Steph wanted me to try to get a little more pleats. She wanted to see if I could get some tinier pleats.
Yeah.
And I got them about as small as I could get them. So total, it looks like they're exactly an inch, like every one of them.
Mine is measuring out at about 1.5. Mine are at about 1.5 inch tall.
That makes sense.
Okay.
So yeah, so because you wanted me to try to get a little more, and we'll see if there's any kind of difference. If you know what I mean. So
Yeah, so I asked Scott to see if he could use his, pleating skills, make smaller pleats to see if there would be more radio wave action going on with a smaller pleat, because I could have tried to go with smaller pleats, but this size is the most comfortable for me. I actually switched out my larger rubber band for a brand new unstretched out one, and it started to make my project want to buckle. So I'm going back to my larger stretched out rubber band. And again, these are my favorite rubber bands. Scott, are you using my favorite rubber bands in the color purple? Kind of looks like, I don't know, I can't tell. Okay.
that first one I am.
Yeah.
Or the center one.
Yeah. The bigger ones. And then, so Scott just showed you his. So there's the back of mine. Here's the top of mine, and here's the side view of mine. Looks exactly like Scott's, but yes, just with less pleats.
You froze up.
Do you have your phone plugged
Oh my, no. Here we go. Great.
Where were you on that one, Amanda?
I don't think Amanda's in here. Dang it. It was plugged in, but then right as we were about to go live, I unplugged it and walked off with it to get us set up. Will it come back? Will it? Okay, let's hope it just comes right back. Just give it a second. I think it will.
If it's letting you talk, I would think.
Yeah, well, I'm just hoping that the imagery will come back. Just give it a few seconds. I mean, you and I have to wait to see. Yeah, I'm back. Woo!
Hey, all right.
Okay. So did anybody, okay, I don't know if you, so here's my top, here's my bottom. I got a little wonky one right there. I don't like that little, ugh, I shouldn't have looked. Now I'm going to mess the whole thing up. Oh, well, I'm going to leave it. It's fine. And then like my side view looks just like Scott's, just with taller pleats. Okay. Now you got to dye this thing somehow. And I still haven't figured out what colors I'm going to use. So first things first, you got to decide what you're going to do. I am going to flat rack dye mine, meaning I'm going to put it on a rack and dye it while it's flat. Gosh darn it. Too much tension on this one rubber band. It wants to keep buckling my center, and that's making me not happy. Okay. So, come on. Work with me here. Maybe I need to put another one on there just to take the tension off, or a different one. Which one's bigger? Okay, so you want to get a rack, and then you need to create some type of an ice barrier, and I will be using foil because I don't have any.
I use 12-pack soda. I use the 12-pack carrier.
Okay, I don't have any of that.
Real tiny, thin cardboard, basically. And you can bend it perfect. It doesn't.
Yeah, and that'll be perfect. But since I don't have that, I'm going to use foil. And I like to use the foil that I get from Costco because it's pretty heavy duty stuff. So, I don't know. Get a pretty big piece. And then I fold it in half. That might not be big enough. I hope it is. And then I kind of secure it up a little bit more and sort of like just fold it back a little bit just to make it a little a little bit more. And then I come to my project and I see like, oh yeah, that's going to be plenty big. So I could actually shore it up just a little bit more. And then I just wrap it around.
Lynette said, Scott, are you intentionally trying to fold it different than stuff? I was like, hell no, I'm not. Daggone it.
Oh, because you did more pleats?
I started reading the comments and then I saw, I think maybe even Marshall said something too. Or no, it was Brandon. Brandon was like, Scott, you're folding it different than her.
Oh, like in the very beginning?
That's when I was like, oh man.
Oh, yeah, it's just because we were coming at it from different directions.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of it really does have to do with, I mean, I think potentially because you're able to walk around your table and I'm not, kind of a thing. Okay, so there's my ice barrier. Oops, I don't want to smash my ice barrier. Okay, super easy. Now, I'm going to put it on. The way that I do it when I have to rack dye like this is I take one of these foil dollar pan thingies, lasagna pan or whatever from dollar store. They will leak, you guys. Maybe not the first time. And there's two. There's a thick one and then there's kind of a real flimsy one. I try to pick the thicker one. They last a little longer. But they will leak after a couple of uses. So you're going to always have to place it down inside some type of like plastic bin. Okay, my ice barrier is pretty tall. Does not need to be that tall, but I'm just going to leave. I mean, maybe it needs to be this tall. Because we're going to be adding quite a bit of ice to this project. Now, I don't know what colors of dye to use. We were running late. I was out there looking for dye, and I was trying to find the colors I wanted, and I'm running low or out, and anyways. So I don't even know what dye I'm putting on this. I need a paper clip or something. Oh, come on. There's got to be a paper clip in here somewhere. All right. Well, okay. So I was searching for a paper clip. I've got to run out. I need to go grab my clothespins. Okay, and while I'm out there, I should grab my dye. So, okay, so typically when you dye these, you dye it in stripes, and like you decide what do you want your center radio wave to be? Do you want it to be your darkest feature or your lightest feature? And stripe it, and then stripe it again, and you could use however many colors. You could do 3 colors. I think I use 4 typically. Scott, I need to go get my paper clips. I need to grab my dye. Do you guys have any like color palette suggestion? Scott, are you sticking with the greens and the blues for yours?
I think I am, yeah.
Okay. I could do the exact same color palette as Scott, but I thought it would be kind of fun if I did a totally different color palette just to see, what the same pattern looks like with different dye colors. So, anybody have a color palette, hot, cold, any suggestions? I'm going to go, how much ice is too much? Will it water out the colors? I mean, sure, you could way over ice your project, but you also have to keep in mind that this is a very thick fold, so you have to get enough on there. And we're going to be adding quite a bit of ice, so it's kind of a tough answer or question to answer because I don't think like I've never measured. I use 1 cup, 2 cups, that type of a thing. You just sort of have to get a feel for it and play around with it. So, would love no red, orange, or yellow. Oh, Sue, that was exactly what I was probably going to go and yank too. Was red, orange, yellows, and purples, and do fire colors while Scott did the greens and the blues and the purples.
Do that. That sounds cool.
Let's see, fuchsia grape and aqua green. Oh, that'll be pretty. Let's see. And I was also thinking about going into my Dharma's special order dyes that I never use, or even colors that I've never even tried before, and see what would happen with that. So, okay, I need to step away. I've got to go get my clips to hold my project in place. I need to get a bin to set it down inside of. I need to get so clothespins, paper clip, dye. Okay, I'm on a mission. I'll be right back. So Kelly and Scott, please help me out here.
Okay. This time of year, stock up on those cheap plastic school folders. They make great ice beers when cut up, or dollar store cutting mats. Absolutely, I have some of those. Um, uh, they were like $1. The school folder, poly school folders. That's what I used to use. They're the ones I got were kind of flimsy. Then Kelly got some of those cutting mats, exactly like you said, and those work great. Here lately, I've just been using 12-pack 12-pack soda pop containers. It's real thin cardboard, and I can just bend it right around and then use my so I'll pick it up and set it up on my drip pan, and then I can just go ahead and pin those in and to keep the ice from bending it over and all that. So I need some really tall ones. That would be nice. Who loves Dharma dyes? That's what I use mostly. Yeah, I use a little bit of everything. I don't. I mean, there's some that I don't have. I have a little bit of dye spin, and I'm close to Pro Chem. Not that close, but I'm closer to Pro Chem than anything. So we seem to use it, and of course, Happy Cat. They're of course my favorite colors to use. I love the splitting colors, of course. So, any suggestions making little metal perks on the clothespins not rust so fast? No, I don't. Actually, none of mine are rusted. I don't know. Well, actually, there is, I guess, a little bit. There might be a little bit of rust on there. No, I don't have any suggestions for that. I see. I get them on. I get them on my clips. One that's actually kind of rusted pretty good, and I don't like to use it very often just because. See, look at that. And it's rusted pretty good. But I'm just using this tip, but still. I don't know if the rust could really hurt it too much. I mean, depending on it, like if you're using the yellow or something, it could show up, I guess. But what is this supposed to be? This is going to be a radio wave. So if you want to this is a tapestry, and it's going to be a radio wave on a tapestry. It's 58 by 58 inches wide and tall. If you haven't seen a radio wave, you can. Steph has a video on a T-shirt she done, and she sent it to me and had me watch it. So yeah, check it out.
Have you thought about colors?
Yeah, I already have my colors. I've already figured out what colors I'm going to use. I'm going to use lime pop down the center, lime squeeze on either side of the lime pop, new emerald on that side, on either side of the lime pop, And then I'm going to use Grecian C on each side of the new emerald. And then lastly, I'm going to use Imperial Purple on the very corners here. And this is all going to be dye over ice. So we're not going to.
No.
Yeah, so we're not going to lay any dye on the shirt itself. I was really stoked when she said we'd be doing dye over ice, because I use, I pour ice on top of my dye, and I did a video and slow mode it, and you could see how the dye was moving around, like the ice would hit the shirt, and then you could see it like jump up off the shirt and stuff. Because I'm gonna just pour it on there, So anytime I can do dye over ice, pretty stoked about it, because I'm not gonna displace any dye, any dye on my shirt. And I think you might be less likely to get confetti. Steph, are you there? Steph? Oh, it sounds like I could hear her. You might get a little less confetti doing that too, doing dye over ice, which is the speckling. Sometimes you get like kind of big speckles, especially on like shiboris and watercolor scrunches or TDSs. You seem to get a lot of confetti or speckling on that too. Okay, hi guys. Loving the process to do a tapestry. What size is it, and where did you purchase it? Thanks, Terry. Terry, we got these from Sunshine Joy. I think they're out of Colorado. No. They're out of Rhode Island. Woonsocket, Rhode Island, I think. And I got 28 of them the other day. And they were shipped in a pretty sizable box. They were pretty heavy. It was a pretty heavy box. They're 58 inches by 58 inches, and they already have loops on each corner, so you can hang it up. You don't have to, try to make your own loops or anything like that. So they look like pretty good quality. They were nice and thick. Yeah, you should check them out. SunshineJoy.com, and they have all kinds of different stuff that you can, other blanks that you can dye, blank tap, blank t-shirt, just all kinds of stuff. So check them out. It's you can get a wholesale license or wholesale an account, and if you have like a business license, like an EIC number from government, you can get wholesale prices, and the wholesale prices are about half the price. So check them out.
Yeah, if you have a business license, set up a pro account with Sunshine Joy, and they've got all kinds of cool stuff. They don't just have tapestries. They've got
all kinds.
They've got scrubs, dresses, like for nurses. They've got scrub tops and lab jackets, I'm pretty sure, and hats and all kinds of stuff. And if you have a business account and can set it up, their prices are a lot more affordable than Dharma.
Yeah.
For their blanks.
Amazon boxes work good as ice barriers too.
Yeah, we all have a ton of those, don't we?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Sorry it took so long. I was out there struggling. I don't know what to do. I'm trying not to do any orange and red. And I'm trying also to choose colors different than Scott's so that we have a variety. So I think what I settled on was, what I brought in was Blue Violet Snosberry from Dharma Trading Company, not to be confused with Schnozberry from Happy Cat. This is Snosberry, which I don't know what color this is. I think it's kind of like a light purple. And then amethyst and golden yellow for, I don't know, a highlight. Don't know how that's going to play out with this color combination, but that's what I grabbed. Okay, now we are now at the point where it's time to get dyeing. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to add a like a thin layer of ice, which why didn't I bring that? Oh, I couldn't bring it because I only have 2 hands. So, Scott, do you have your ice prepared?
Yeah, I pulverized it up pretty good.
Okay. So why don't you explain, because I'm going to be using nugget for ice for my nugget ice machine, which you will find a link down below in the description box. I love my nugget ice, and that's the kind of ice that's really good for this type of project. So I'm going to go grab that. And Scott, explain how you have simulated nugget ice with regular ice cubes that you can buy at the store or with your ice machine.
I just took ice from my ice machine, which is like squared, cubed ice, what, inch by inch, something like that. And I probably quadruple bagged it. And then I have a concrete basement floor, and I just pulverize it in those 4 or 5 bags layered up. And it works good. I mean, it's not quite snow or shaved ice, but pretty close. I mean, there's little nuggets, so that should help with our dye over ice.
Sorry, I bumped the camera again. I'm listening.
No, you're fine.
Okay. So I've placed mine down inside of my tote because I've used this container or this foil pan a few times. I'm almost guaranteed that it's going to leak, and so we don't want that to happen. Now, like I said, we're going to stripe out our dye.
Now,
So
you're going to do dye over ice there, right?
yes, I am.
Okay.
But I just want to demonstrate.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a pen to kind of. So you want to you have your center point here where we started, and so you know we're gonna stripe it out. Like that's gonna be one stripe of color, and then another stripe of color. I'll use another. Just you're gonna watch me do it, but just so, and then flank that color with the same color, and then do another color, flank it on the other side, and then so on. Just start in the center and repeat and work your way out until you reach the end. And I think you can use as many colors as you want. You can use as little colors as you want, but that in theory, that first center stripe of whatever color you choose is going to be like your radio wave star pattern. Like, so, that when it'll be easier to see when ours are finished, but that's what you want to keep in mind. So, Scott, did you already say what colors you're using?
Yes, and kind of explained what we were
Okay.
going to do too while you were
Okay.
go
All
straight
right.
center, and then on either side of that center stripe lay our second color, and then on the other side of each side of that stripe lay another color, and
Yeah.
just
So exactly right. So have did you decide to go with a bright colored center?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And gosh darn it, I didn't bring all of the. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. I wanted to bring all of the paper clips in here because once you get the layer of ice on your project, it's hard to know where you're going. I mean, I can kind of see it because I have a triangle here. I'm gonna try to do it without, but a lot of times I will mark like with a paper clip to show myself where I want to, start each line. I'm
So
just gonna.
use my clothesline clips or whatever those are called.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea too. So that good. So you did something smart. I'm just gonna wing it. So I'm just telling myself, okay, I've got this paper clip here. That's kind of lining up with my center point. Now, I think I was gonna work my way the opposite direction and have like snozberry for my main thing, and then work it out with blue, violet, and then amethyst, and then the yellow on the edges, which would be I will have a dark radio wave versus a light radio wave, and I think I might stick with that. You know, I always flip flop, you guys. This is where I go, well, wait a minute. No, I think I want a bright center, but I'm going to go, I am going to go, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to go darker for mine and work my way out to the lighter colors. Or should I do blue? No, I'm going to make mine snozzberry. This might turn out to be the ugliest thing I've ever made, but hey, you don't know until you try. And I'm really not sure what snozzberry looks like. I think it's like a lavender color. I don't know. I've used it, but I don't remember. Okay, so I'm just putting down like my first layer of ice. Not a lot, just enough to get it going. You know, just to cover the fabric. I don't see any of the fabric showing through anymore. Okay. All right. And now this is my favorite part. And I should have gloves on, but I'm not. Okay. Now we've got that delay. I want to see Scott put his on.
Okay, let me get a scoop here real quick.
Oh, Steph, guess what I ordered in your honor the other day? Gone.
Where'd she go? Did she say she was on?
No, I said I wanted to see you put your ice on to see, make sure how you're putting your ice on.
Not real thick, right?
No, not real thick, just enough to where you don't see the fabric showing through anymore.
Okay. Okay.
Like when I stick my finger down in there, it just goes to like my first knuckle on my finger.
Gotcha.
I ordered something from Dharma in your honor, Steph.
What'd you get?
Magenta Galactica.
What? Yeah. The only thing. Okay. So let's see. I said I was going to start with snozzberry. Okay. So I'm going to grab my snozzberry. And like I said, it's from Dharma Trading Company. This was one of their muck dyes, so it's no longer available. However, it may be available, you guys, if you go to Tiedye Marketplace on Facebook. There's a lot of people that sell dyes, and I'm sure somebody probably has 10 pounds of it, and they're breaking it up. And I have a link down below in the description box that will take you right over to the marketplace to order special order dyes. Okay, so now I'm just gonna start striping it on. And this might be a huge mistake because this color might not be a good saturator, but we're going for it. Okay, and I'm just going to make a line. And I'm actually kind of putting it on a little bit heavy because this is a very thick tapestry and I don't want to flip it over. Okay. And as you can see, it's starting to spread out over the ice, but I'm kind of really just concentrating on that line. You know, I'm just kind of going back and forth. And I'm using my funnel scoop that I got from Shop Boredom with Jen. There's also a link down below. It's attached to the Sinew Polar and Matching Caddy set. Okay, so that's a good start for that one. Okay, now next, Scott, what are you starting with?
Line pop.
All right. Now my next color, I'm going to be doing blue violet. I'm trying to think ahead as to what colors will blend nicely together and not, look crazy. So I think blue violet will complement the snozzberry pretty well. And I'm going to come right next to that. Even though it's spreading out on the ice, I'm putting my dye next to that line, the thick line, and I'm not really worrying about the spread out, okay? And I'm going to flank each side with my funnel scoops that are absolutely amazing. I need two hands. I gotta have a little more control so I can guide the dye where I want it to be, right next to that line. I have a hard time seeing up underneath my my barrier here. You want to make sure you get enough dye on your center there, you know, where you started, so you don't want to open it up and find out that you got white. Okay, that's a great first line I see there, Scott.
Thank you.
Looking good, looking good. Okay, what are you doing next?
Lime squeeze.
All right, he's going for it today. He's getting on it. It's gonna be a good one.
I don't like that big ice cube right there, though.
Okay, that's a good start because you can always go back and add a little more, you know. So I got too much stuff on my table here. So what I'm being smart. I don't have a lot of water going around. I'm going to set my spoon in the lid off to the side in case I want to sprinkle some more dye. And then I'm going to put my dye way over here so it doesn't get any contamination from the ice. Next, I'm going to be doing amethyst. Kind of wonder if maybe I should do another color. Oh, and see, this is just, you know, as you're going, you know, you guys can, you know, change your mind as you go and add more to or whatever. Okay, now I'm going to go, even though it's spreading out, I don't care. I'm going to go right next to that line of the, what color did I just do? Blue violet. And I'm just putting that line right up next to my blue violet of my amethyst. Amethyst is one of my favorite purple pinks. So pretty. How much Magenta Galactica did you order, Kelly?
Just 8 ounces.
Oh, just only 8 ounces, huh? No, I'm kidding, because I have my primary, you know, I have like a handful of favorites. I didn't start ordering the 8 ounces until maybe recently.
We
Most
typically pounds of stuff, so.
What? I'm sorry, what?
We typically order pounds, so 8 ounces for me is a little bit.
Oh, yeah, no, not me. If I ordered pounds of dye, I would just never stop. There would be no end. Huh. Now I'm really rethinking the golden yellow on this. Now I'm thinking I just went with the purple. What if I did like, ooh, maybe if I did like a red and then a yellow. But then that would put orange on this tapestry. I wonder if that would look cool or weird. Oh, see? Decisions. What to do. Okay. So now what are you working on?
New emerald green.
All right. So he's got lime pop, lime squeeze, now new emerald green. I don't know, you guys. I'm really starting to feel like I should add one more color and then I don't know. Does anybody fuchsia? Yeah, okay, I got it. I can do it. To heck with it. Let's throw some fuchsia on there. Why not? I did bring enough scoops in. Okay, let's grab some fuchsia.
Get a little wider on my.
Your stripes are looking good.
Thank you.
All right. How many of you guys already have your funnel scoops from Jen?
I do.
I do.
We do.
I want you guys to stay tuned for those of you that watch the channel, you want to make sure that you subscribe, obviously. And then, turn your bell on, go into your settings. Because Jen and I have something cooked up here that's coming real soon. You don't want to miss out on that. So it's important to have that bell on, because when I upload, sometimes I upload at really crazy times. You just never know when I'm going to do it, and you don't want to miss out. Okay? So just keep that in mind. You're going to be excited, because I know I am.
Awesome.
And it'll be coming like within the next day or two. It might even come later this afternoon. I don't know. Just pay attention. I'll surprise you. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my golden yellow. And I didn't bring enough funnel scoops out here with me, so I'm just going to act like I have another spoon. Oh, there I do. I do have a spoon. So the reason why I'm really super scattered, you guys, is because I tie-dye out on a sun porch. Many of you already know that. And right now, August is our hottest month. So I've had to move indoors in the living room. So I'm going back and forth. My stuff is all out there, and I'm dragging, project by project. And so I apologize for, being so scattered. Okay, so you did. Okay, I'm missing it. I'm talking and you're not saying what color. So we got lime pop, lime squeeze, new emerald green.
Grecian blue.
Okay.
Or Grecian sea, and it's blue. And imperial purple on the ends.
That's going to be a banger right there.
Lime squeeze, new emerald, Grecian sea, and imperial purple.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, and this is golden yellow, and I'm using all Dharma colors right now, and Scott is too.
Yep.
And so on my end, and so what I'm hoping, that fuchsia was a really good suggestion, because I'm hoping the fuchsia and the golden yellow will kind of meet together, and they're going to put orange on this, but that's okay, because it might look pretty cool with like the blues. It also might look terrible. This could be a disaster waiting to happen, but I think it might be a cool highlight color to have a little orange and whatnot going on down here. Because golden yellow to my eye is kind of an orange anyways. It's kind of not really yellow, but I don't know. And then putting it kind of heavy, because you guys know, you've heard me say it so many times, my yellow disappears always. Okay, and now before I do anything, I'm going to just double check and make sure that I feel pretty comfortable that I've got a pretty heavy amount. Like, I'm feeling a little nervous right now about the snoz. It's snozberry, not schnozberry. Snozberry. Have any of you guys dyed with the snozberry and know, like, with ice dyeing, if you've had good experience with it being a good heavy saturator? Or is it one of those that wants to disappear like robin's egg blue? Robin's egg blue vanishes in an ice dye. Does anybody know about snozberry?
I do not. Not by Dharma.
Okay, so I think I did a really heavy layer of golden yellow. I'm going to go right back to my beginning, and I'm just going to make sure that I'm beefing it up just a little bit, because I'm nervous. Like I said, I don't want to flip it over, and I'd rather have, on this particular type of a project where it's so thick, I'd rather have a little too much dye than not enough, if that makes any sense at all. I think you guys understand exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm just beefing, because I know this color. I can tell when the dye is like sand, it's going to be a light saturator, if that makes any sense to you guys.
Oh, so I've never really thought about it.
The texture of the dye, in my experience, the more sandy it is. From Dharma, the more it's not necessarily meant to be made for ice. You know, well, none of the dyes are made for ice. Just I want all of you to understand that Dharma does not make their dyes for ice dyeing. Okay. So they can't guarantee what's going to happen. The more cakey sort of dyes, in my experience, are better at saturating typically. Okay. And then I'm going to just do, because I'm scared, you guys, I don't want any white in this. I'm just going to go just a little bit heavier.
My line pop's pretty heavy.
Just with that.
I feel like all mine's pretty good.
Oh, gosh. No, that's the right color. I thought I just grabbed amethyst for a second. And then I'm just checking, just adding just a little bit, just not a lot, but just enough to make total sure. And then I'm cleaning up as I go, I'm putting things off to the side. I'm closing up my jars. If you don't have amethyst already, you guys, I highly recommend it. Amethyst is one of the prettiest. It's like it's right like in between their purples and their magentas, and it's one of my favorites. It's so beautiful. And I'm excited because I'm getting close to finally getting to I have the shirt already made. I just need to make the video for the single color ice dye amethyst. It's so beautiful. You guys are going to love it. I just need to edit it. Okay, I feel pretty good about that. I think I went heavy enough with the fuchsia. Okay, now the next step is to add more ice. So I'm going to add a thin layer of soda ash. You know, the quick little sprinkle of soda ash for good measure. And then I'm going to backfill with as much ice as I have available right now. Now, because I'm using my nugget ice machine, it takes about an hour for it to refill. So I'm only going to be able to put so much on, but I'll probably end up and come and put another layer on. I'm trying to be better about making the videos, like the reveal videos, and so I'll take footage of me doctoring with it. Okay. So, quick little sprinkle of soda ash for good measure. And Scott, I think, uses a lot more than I do for his quick little sprinkle.
I went kind of light this time.
Well, that's, I mean.
And then I'm going to add some more ice to this, you say, right?
Yep. And then, oh, my ponytail got caught in the camera. And then, yep. And then just fill it back up with ice. All right, here we go. You guys want to see the magic? Oh, it's going to be so beautiful. Oh, look at that. Woo! That is pretty. My ice has been sitting here on the floor in my bowl melting. It's full of water. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my scoop and I'm trying to drain the water out. I don't want to put all this cold, wet water on there. I don't think it would be that big of a deal, but I'd rather kind of have a slow melt than just all this water. Okay. Now, can you guys see how pretty that is? Like, look, it's like a dark, well, the way it looks now, it's like blue radiating out into like the magentas and the oranges. I think it's going to be real pretty. Won't know till I wash it out, but I'm super excited. Leah, robin's egg works okay for you for ice dyes. Well, I'm happy to hear that. For me, I almost always have to go back in and add more when I work with it. I mean, it works, but it just disappears. Okay, so I'm going to get as much ice out of this wet bowl as I can. I don't think I'm gonna have a lot of ice in my machine, but I'll go check. But you want yours to look like Scott's. See how you can see all of my dye? I don't have enough ice. I'm gonna fill.
And my ice is really cold. So when I laid my dye on top of my first layer of ice, it didn't even really change colors that much. You know how like if it's wet ice, it like saturates like whoosh, immediately. My powder kind of sat up and stayed on my top of my ice for a minute.
It comes right out of the deep freezer.
Because I take my ice out of the deep freezer. I like my ice to be really cold. And
Yeah.
so when I make my ice, I like my ice to sit in my deep freezer for at least 2 days before I use it. So I rotate my ice constantly because I like my ice to be cold and not just straight out of the machine. And then if I put my dye over top of it, it's just like whoosh, you know.
Yeah.
So
I like
that's my personal preference.
and that's great. Mine comes straight out of an ice machine, so it's always just a tad bit melty. And then mine has been sitting on my floor the whole time we've been doing this. Now I have a bowl of water. I'm going to go see if I have a little more ice in the machine because hopefully over the last 20-30 minutes it's been refilling. So give me 1 second. But another thing, I get a real kick out of seeing the instant results of my colors, like
Right,
right. I'm having that endorphin thing happening right now. Like I'm like, whoa, look at those colors.
No doubt.
You know, here, I'll be right back.
So I'm gonna try. I don't know if I got my tape long enough. I'll use that as a cut. Because I don't want this thing to fall over on me.
All right. So, I mean, that's not. I actually have quite a bit in the last. I have enough to feel pretty comfortable. I'm just gonna shake it right out of my bowl here. So this is brand new ice. It's been while we've been sitting here doing this, it's been working and filling itself back up. And I have filled my ice barrier pretty much up to the brim. Okay. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to take it out of the house because it has air conditioning in here. So I'm going to take it out onto the sun porch. I don't want to stick this outside because I don't want it to be in the blazing, 90-degree weather. I want it to just sit out in my 90-degree weather on the sun porch and just sort of sit there and do its thing. And then I'm gonna watch it after the ice melts. If I feel like I still have a ton of undissolved dye and I check the back and it doesn't look very saturated, I'm going to fill it back up with ice and a little more soda ash. Okay, Scott, what are you going to do to yours?
Hopefully I can just get to sit it, forget it, but I doubt it. If it's, I might just do the same thing you do. Heck, I might just call you and ask you for your opinion.
Okay, well,
I don't know. I'm just saying that, but
no, I mean, no, but seriously. So, for any of you that have tapestries that are gonna, when we hang up and you're gonna go tie yourself one up, those are the things that you want to, check for. You can kind of peek down in your pleat and open it, and if you have a whole bunch of white in there, you may need to add more dye depending on what colors you use. These are the things that I look for that tell me what I need to do. If I raise up my rack and I peek at the bottom and it's like white, then my first step, what I typically do is I add another layer of ice, see if I can get that dye moving down through. Then I check it, and if it still looks white, then I might need to flip the whole thing over and just repeat the process. I really try to avoid that though, just because it's a pain in the neck. So, um, just that's the thing with ice dyeing. You just got to watch it and see what happens. What is it going to do? So, I'm going to set it and I'm going to forget it. And as soon as the ice melts, I will take some photographs or maybe a quick little video and show you guys what I'm looking at. It'll be hard to show you the bottom, but it doesn't matter. And Scott's gonna set it and forget it, and his ice is gonna probably take a lot longer to melt than mine because his cubes are, well, they're just different. He's using different ice altogether than me, and it's super frozen. Where mine is, it's kind of already melting and wet, little like Sonic ice. If you guys have a Sonic in your area, they will sell bags of ice. But I recommend that you get yourself a Frigidaire nugget ice machine for stuff like this because they're amazing. And then I just want to quickly give a quick shout out to the inspiration for this, and it's Moon Dippers Tie-Dye, and you can find her over on Instagram. She does have a YouTube channel, but she doesn't do anything on it anymore. But Moon Dippers Tie-Dye on Instagram is by far, hands down, in my personal opinion, the greatest ice dye tapestry maker that I have ever seen. Now, I'm sure that everybody has their favorite. She happens to be mine. So
Yes.
make sure that you definitely check her out, because they're incredible. Like yeah, kind of idolize her a little bit. She's amazing.
Well, good one to idolize.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just going to check in here. Let's see. Magenta is closer to purple. Fuchsia is closer to hot pink. Yes, I definitely agree with that. Bridget, is that you?
What?
Who's Bridget?
Bridget, where have you been, woman? I mean, like, for real. I've been thinking about you lately and was going to reach out because where have you been? I have not. It's summertime. I'm sure you're traveling around visiting your family, but I have not seen anything from you in months.
Oh,
Like,
that's,
like since you came over and visited me. She might not be in here anymore, but
I don't know if that's even her, is it?
well, yeah, because Gidget is her dog.
Oh, Bridget Gidget 72. Okay.
Yeah, that's Bridget.
Okay, I just know her on Facebook. I don't know her handle on YouTube.
Yeah, her little
I know
doggy.
we did a YouTube together. I know we did a live together, but I never knew her handle was.
Oh yeah, well, I just know her cute little Chihuahua is Gidget. It's Bridget and Gidget. um. All right, let's see. What is Brandon saying? Brandon is giving great ideas. Just lay those sand dyes way heavy. Yeah, that's exactly right. Anything that is sandy from Dharma Trading Company. Now, from other dye companies, I don't know because I know a lot of Prochems dyes have a kind of nice. They're real nice. I love Prochems dyes, and they're kind of nice and sandy. But I can't really speak on that. But for Dharma's dyes, if it's real super sandy, I always have problem with the colors kind of vanishing. So I go heavy.
I'll keep an eye on that now.
All right. Well, I think we've been at it for quite some time. I know we were talking about maybe doing another one, but I think this is a good stopping point for today.
Definitely.
Um, we'll do another one for sure, but I don't want to stay too long. I think everything turned out really well. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to ultimately let mine batch for 48 hours.
Yep. I made a tag and it says live, lime pop, lime squeeze, new emerald, Grecian sea, imperial purple, and it'll be ready to rinse out on Monday night.
Yeah.
So, because if I don't take a picture or I don't take a picture of my dye, I'm not going to remember what I used. So I
Right.
just write it on my tag and I can put my dye up and not have to worry about,
Yeah.
I mean, of course I can always go back and see what I used, but I'm just used to making a tag. It's
Well,
just,
yeah, we have the luxury of making the video, but when you're not making a video, and I've said this before for all of you, take pictures of your dye jars, write it down, do something, because that one time that you don't document what you have done, and it's going to be your ultimate masterpiece, and you're going to say, what the heck did I do? What colors? What? I see so many posts in our group and other groups where they're like, hey, I made this shirt, I love it, do any of you have any idea what colors I used? And it's ice dyeing. It's it's hard to say. So
Yeah.
document, document, document. So yeah, so it's gonna take 48 hours. I'm gonna try to be better about making the reveal video sooner than like a month later. But life happens, right, guys?
Yeah.
Um, Scott, I'm sure will be sharing his via pictures and all of that. So stay tuned for that. And then, like I said, keep coming back to my channel because Jen and I got something fun we've got planned out. And then I guess that's really it. How about you, Scott? Any final words?
Brandon's saying what would happen if we added a little incline to it. But with our collars being the way that we laid them, I don't know how much movement we would get because everything would be moving in a vertical. You know what I mean? Since we laid our dye in a vertical pattern, and if we inclined it, I don't know how much movement we would actually get.
So, Brandon, my answer to that to you is make one and incline it and then share it and let us see. Because I don't know.
Want me to incline mine? I will. I'll incline it.
No, don't. No, please don't.
All right. I'll leave it.
I mean, you can do whatever, but which way would you incline it? Would you incline the point to the back or from left to right or?
No clue. I'm just gonna.
And think about how our pleats are, right? We've got a top and a bottom and a top and a bottom and a top and a bottom.
Right.
So right now our die is going just straight down.
Right. That's what I was saying. Like,
but that's right. So
I don't know how much movement we would get.
I'm trying to talk it out, I'm trying to tell myself, so it's going straight down. So when we open it, so if we incline it from let's say if I pick up this right side, then I think it might make it look like off balance.
Yeah.
You have to understand what we're trying to achieve, Brandon, is when we open it up that there's
looks like radio.
Well, let me see. I'm trying to count 1, 2, 3, 6 or 8 lines coming off like this, and we kind of want them to be straight lines of color, and then out from there triangles of different colors coming off of that. So I say, Brandon, I would love to see you incline it, and that would be something we could learn from. I am definitely not inclining mine. No way. But
you do a twofer?
I am not doing a twofer. No, I'm just gonna. I'm done with this particular project. I don't have a lot of dye down in there. I mean, I could certainly spiral something up and throw it down in there, but I'm not going to today. I've got other things I need to go take care of at the moment. So let's see. Any other questions? There she is. Oh, different Bridget. I can't believe what are the chances of having 2 Bridgets and Gidgets? So I don't know. Well, hi, the other Bridget. And she was probably born in 72 as well. I have a live video with her, and she shares little Gidget on the table. That's pretty amazing. So this is Bridget and Gidget the parrot. Well, okay, so one of us needs to reach out to Bridget and make sure that she's still all right, because I have not seen the other Bridget in months.
Oh, my gosh.
She's been traveling.
I guess Kelly said she travels a lot.
Well, yeah, it's during summertime. I know she's going around visiting her family. Well, I don't know. I'm assuming so, but you know what I'm saying. She just sort of dropped off the face of the earth. And real quick before we go, you guys, I've been getting a lot of questions about where our beloved Goyo is. Goyo, Greg from Goyo's Garden and Tie-Dyes. He's been in the hospital for the last 3 weeks, and hopefully the plan was maybe that he was going to come home today, but as of last night late, it looked like maybe he wasn't going to be able to come home. So he's just having a lot of complications. What was just supposed to be like a routine checkup, exploratory type visit has turned into one surgery that led to another surgery to another, like a Pandora's box. So, for those of you that are curious and asking, I'm just publicly telling you that he's in the hospital, but he's thinking of everybody. He keeps saying, I hope everybody's not mad at me because I'm not making videos anymore. So I just reassure him that nobody is mad at him for anything. And the only thing we want for him is to just get well.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
okay. Well, I think that's pretty good for today. I thank you all for tuning in, and thank you, Scott, for tie-dyeing a tapestry with me. We'll
Yeah.
make more. And thank you, Kelly, for hanging out with us. And
Are we doing socks Tuesday?
yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I would love to. So Kelly and I plan on doing some knee-high liquid. Or they're not knee highs, but they're thigh high stockings. Well, I'm going to be doing liquid. I don't know, Kelly. We can decide, but that should be fun. That'll be something totally different that we don't normally do. So, all right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you hanging out with us today. And we will see you Tuesday, I guess, around the same time, you think, Kelly? Like noonish?
I'm off work, so it doesn't matter.
Would you rather do it later? Because, we have that time difference. I mean,
I honestly, it doesn't matter to me at all.
okay. All right. Well, sounds good. I'm super excited. Okay. I got to get my step ladder so I can get up here and hang up the phone.
All right. Well, hey, thanks again for having me on and working through the beginning of it with me. I want
Hey.
to watch that back and be like, that's hilarious.
No, you know what?
I was going to sweat it a little bit. It's what you get for not paying attention,
Well,
but a little bit of a lag and.
no, it's hard because we have that leg, but it's good. It's all a learning curve because if one of us is having a hard time, somebody else is probably having a hard time too, right? So
Right,
it
so sorry if I threw anybody off. Somebody was watching me and I threw them off.
no, you didn't because
I'd watch Stephanie's side.
No, I don't think anybody was thrown off, Scott. I think that like I said, it was a good learning curve, and we got through it, and that's all that matters. I mean, heck, it's your first tapestry, right?
Yeah.
So
How to do them, and I might just do one when we get off the phone and make it a little more harder for myself.
well, as I think you should. I mean, they're a lot of fun. I promise you,
Or something.
when you open this tapestry up, you're going to be like, "Wow, these are where it's at." I promise.
Right on.
All right, guys. Well, we will talk later. Thank you, everybody, again for tuning in. And Kelly, I hope to see you Tuesday, and I hope everybody can come back and watch Kelly and I make some thigh-high stockings. All right. All right. Everybody take good care. Be well, and we'll see you again another time.
Okay, thanks, Steph.
Bye. Thank you, Scott. Bye, Kelly.
Bye.